Secretly Quirkless by Wolfhunter1425. Read by Nelson My Skin That May Bleed Out. Chapter 4. He stood in front of the massive gates of UA. Zuko comfortably strolled into the school. There was only on the outside. His mind was just planning to fill with anxiety, but he didn't want to embarrass himself. There were probably cameras and other security measures, and he didn't want his first impression to be falling face into the ground. Everything was just overwhelming. The written portion of the test was easier than he thought. He might have overstudied just a bit. There were some questions about airplane types which made it easier. It was the practical test that he was worried about. Despite training, he wasn't strong. People with stronger and more durable bodies would obviously be better than him, but Izuku could outsmart them and get in. That was what he hoped, but he was going to push anyone down to get in. He gathered up his courage and followed the rest of the examinees. When he strolled into the auditorium to talk about the practical exam, his mind just went to overload. It was President Mike. In real life, one of the heroes that he's seen on TV was going to talk to them about the practical exam. Welcome, young listeners, to the physical exam. In this exam, you'll be using your ability and strength to destroy robots. The different types of robots, since villains are always the same. The screen was behind them flickered on. It showed an image of 3 robots. The one pointer is the weakest, with thin honor, which gives you 1 villain point. Next is the 2-pointer. They're made up for speed and have thin armor. The 3-pointers are strong and thick armor. The 3-pointer robot is the hardest. Its head may be extra protected. The robot has armor on all parts of his body. Heavy armor areas on his back, the front, the head, legs, and the arms. The sides are practically the most vulnerable. I could probably use my staff and launch the wires out, but I can't do that before everybody else gets a robot. There'll be some secret points during the test. I have to. Zuko murmured softly. You, exclaimed a robot boy. Yes? Zuko questioned nervously. Stop mumbling. You're distracting everyone. Also, handouts show 4 types of robots. It's shameful that the previous student like UA made such a mistake like this. The robot boy explained. Young listeners, that is not a mistake. This is the 0-pointer. You don't get any points from destroying it. President might inform them. Everyone was then sorted into groups. He was unfortunately in the robot boys group, Group B. They walked to the city B for their assessment. They had 5 cities in all because they were that rich. President Mike stopped in front of the city and turned towards them. Well, what are you waiting for? Go! President Mike explained. All the examiners rushed to the entrance. Izuku clung onto the robot boy's arm, and when they were in the center, whipped him off and got ready to fight. He took his retractable staff out of his pockets. With his staff, he lunged at the 0-point robot and swiped his lance from under it. A strong thrust dented the robot. He continued to stab it until the wires broke in the 1-pointer. This wasn't going to work. It was taking too long. He didn't have anything to think of. Running off, the kid stabbed the robots on the side and on the sled, but he was right. It wasn't enough. Zuko knew beating things weren't the only thing a hero did. There must be another way. He wouldn't get into the hero course by slowly destroying robots. So far, he had gotten only 20 points. But there wasn't going to be enough. Rescue. The first thing a hero does is save the people. There were some secrets stuck under the rubble and robots, which was weird because it was heroism and people could get serious harm doing that, but this was what rescue points were for. He pushed his stuff under the fallen robot and trapped a couple of examiners. It was not compared to the others. Zuko had to work harder. That robot is huge. Is that the 0-pointer? It's useless. Run! Izuku started to run, but he saw a small figure under the massive field corner. He turned back and ran at the massive robot. Looking closer, he started to see it was a girl. A girl. Her body was pinned down by the rubble, the robot crossing, and it was coming closer to the struggling figure. Izuku ran faster. He needed to stop it, but how? The armor is almost impenetrable and it was huge. The slow it to walk, but he couldn't trip it. It would just fall on the girl or in him and create a massive mess. He was thinking about this wrong. Izuku only needed to save the girl. Hey, I'm gonna help you, Izuku shouted. What's your quirk? Zero gravity. I can manipulate gravity. She answered weakly. Can you lift a rock just a little so I can pull you out? Izuku asked. She nodded and proceeded to lift the rock a tiny bit. It was enough to let Izuku pull her out. They turned to run. The 0 point was looming above them. The test is over. I only got 20 points. He sighed. That probably was enough to get in. The hopeful students all walked out of the school. Izuku followed the stream of students in a slump. As I was looking at the files of the new student, one clerk was disclosing while the others were pop-off. Honestly, they seemed like a lot of work. He could feel himself getting a headache already. Well, he had to do that all the work. With a quick message, Izuku had sent Deku his 20 students' quirks. He didn't know the dangers of the quirks and how to improve them. It'd probably be answered later in the week. All he wanted to do is sleep. Chapter 4 End. Chapter 5 His Test. Izuku was stressed out. All he did was eat, work, and sleep. He wasn't sure if he got in or not. He didn't apply to any other school. If he didn't get into UA, he was dead. Working on the course given to him gave him some relief. Ironically, someone username Dead Tired gave him quirks like explosion, analyzing, and gravity manipulation. He didn't think much of it. There were bound to be some people with the same quirks. The day the letter arrived, he was asleep on the breakfast table, work keeping him up all night. I don't see how many quirks were sent to him. Normally it was 30 days, but today, hundreds of quirks were given to him, all for different reasons. He earned a lot of money, but he was a teenager. He shouldn't be worried about working. A small hand shook him awake. Izuku secretly questioned. Izuku, your letter from UA is here. His mom responded softly. He jerked awake, grabbed the letter, and opened it. A weird metallic machine fell out. They wouldn't give anyone a machine to tell the kid they didn't make it in, right? He turned around to see a hologram image of All Might. Hello, Bnha. You aced this written exam, but you only got 20 hero villain points. Sadly, that does not qualify you for the hero course. Izuku's heart fell at that part, so he wasn't getting into UA. But that's not all. The show clipped him saving students, but the one that stood out the most was the last clip. The girl he saved was offering him points. Being a hero doesn't only mean defeating the villains, it also means protecting and saving other people. By saving multiple centimeters and running towards the 0 pointer to save that girl when everybody went away, you granted 70 rescue points. You're first in the exam. Congratulations, Yo Midoriya. This is your Hero Academia. Izuku was speechless. He had gotten into UA. There was no other words. Mom. Izuku, I'm so happy for you. Mom exclaimed, hugging him. He stood in front of the class, a door. Just as he was about to walk in, a voice stopped him. Hey, green hair guy. The familiar, crafty girl. Hello, are you alright? He asked worried. Your leg was trapped in. I'm fine. I'm Uraka Chako, and you? Midoriya Zuku, It took 7 seconds for you to calm down. If you came here to make friends, I suggest you choose another department. This is the hero course. Those were the first words that figured in the yellow sleeping bag had said to his class. Then they realized it was their teacher. Izuku and Yuraka walked into the large door. The other students all quickly sat at the seats, and the teacher went up to the front. He pulled out some PE uniforms with a sleeping bag and placed it on his desk. Amazao Shoda, put these on and go to the PE grounds, said the teacher as he left. The man was waiting for them out of his sleeping bag. Izuku immediately knew who this underground hero was. Eraserhead. The scarf and goggles gave him away. Since he didn't have enough time to see who was in his class, Izuku looked around here. He could see Kachan, the robot that pointed him out, and a few other familiar faces from the entrance exam. This is the Quirk apprehension test. You have to complete multiple tests with your Quirk. Last one gets expelled. This is the pitch. Midoriya, go first. Aizawa said, my Quirk is an offensive one, Izuku explained. Izuku Midoriya, tied in first with Bakugo Koski, analyzed Quirk right. Go. If you refuse, you'll be immediately expelled. His teacher said. How could he use his Quirk here? Think of another way. No more rules didn't apply here. His legs were stronger than his arms. He threw the ball in the air and then kicked it as hard as he could. 48 meters, Aizawa said. You are not supposed to kick the ball. Exclaimed the robot guy. This isn't a regular pitch. I used my Quirk with my analyzed Quirk that saw that my legs are stronger than my arms. He looked to Aizawa to see if he was right. Fortunately, he nodded, which means it counts. This is true. I am sorry. The boy gave him a 90-degree bow. It's alright. Izuku nervously responded. The Quirk assessment began. There's the strength grip test, the toe touch, the high jump, the 40-meter dash, and multiple others. He was always near the bottom 10. He didn't have a very strong Quirk for physical activities, but he did train. There was a familiar purple-haired hypnotist named Shinso. He was doing a lot worse than him, but he was trying. There was a village little girl named Hakagure, who was also lagging behind. Others with different quirks like Jiro, who had hair-from Quirk, Sashiro, who had an acid Quirk. The test just wasn't fair. How does a physical cord use her Quirk to run? It was made more for stealth than headphones, and acid Quirks couldn't help either. Earphones were for stealth, and acid couldn't destroy things. They did not help with strength. This Quirk assessment test was very unfair, and it didn't measure a student's true potential, but that might be the point to this. His final ranking was 17th place. A guy named Todoroki got first, Kachan was second, a girl named Yaruzu got third. The last place was Shinzo Toshi. Everyone was staring at him. Shinzo. Izawa began to say. Wait, Izuku interrupted. This Quirk assessment test is to measure a person's full potential. Shinzo Quirk can stop people from panicking in multiple situations, stop villains in an instant, save people trapped. Also, as she used acid Quirk to possibly melt the robot that trapped people in dangerous situations, so she should pull them out easier, but she only got 15th place. Jiro can use her Quirk to spy on villains to stop them faster, and she was in 18th, so I do not think that you should just expel someone in this class based off their ranking. The test is biased. We were here to learn, of course. We're not pros after all now, but we will be if you teach us. Everyone stared at him. Suddenly, it all caught up to him. His cheeks immediately flushed red in embarrassment. I was gonna say, Shinzo, you are not expelled. It was only a ruse to bring out your fullest potential. Aizawa exclaimed. Izuku, stay here after school. Izuku shivered. That was probably bad. Class A began to walk into class to complete the other lessons. Midoriya, the way you talked to Aizawa was amazing. I couldn't do that. Uraraka exclaimed. Thanks, but I think I got in trouble for that. Izuku said with a laugh. Midoriya, I am Ina Tenya from Samaya Academy. I have misjudged you. You aren't the league I thought you was. But it's not a good idea to backtalk to the teacher. Ida kept talking and lecturing them. There was normal classes after that. He learned more about his new classmates and teacher. Most of them were heroes. He couldn't help mutter about them during the class, but Zuko was mostly worried about after school. He had no idea why he was called out, but it probably wouldn't be for a good reason. Bye! Zuko waved. See you tomorrow, Midoriya! Uraraka exclaimed. Farewell, my classmate, Ida said. Izuku smiled and walked into the school. Aizawa was waiting for him. Midoriya, the principal is waiting for you. Aizawa said tiredly. The principal? Izuku stammered. Why would the principal want to see him? Yes, the principal. Go now. Aizawa ordered. Okay, Eraserhead. Izuku walked towards the principal's office, looking glum. He didn't want to be expelled or in trouble on the first day. So he did know me. I saw him amused as he left. Izuku walked to zoo to see a mouse bear thing. Are you the principal? Well, you can say so, but I'm more interested to you, Zeku. That's the end of chapter 5, I believe. Yeah, chapter 5. Chapter 6. His internship. Deku, he exclaimed nervously. What are you talking about? You know that Izuku could be read as Deku, and that the speech you gave today was nearly identical to the one Deku gave Aizawa, or Dead Tired. Nezu asked, amused. Aizawa was dead tired. He exclaimed, connecting the dots on his head. He did give 20 quirks that were identical to his classmates. The fact that you know the units in your name, Dead Tired, also confirms that you are Deku. Am I gonna be expelled? Izuku moved backwards towards the door. No, I didn't call you here to expel you. I called you here to give you an offer. An offer? Yes, Midoriya Izuku. Would you like to intern under me? Intern under you, the super genius. We will have to switch one of your classes for it, but that is only if you accept. Izuku hesitated. It was a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Except, what class is going to be changed? English, you are fluent, right? How did you know? Your website has multiple translations, and one of them is English. It's also well known outside that English is the universal language. I imagine it would be hard to communicate without knowing English. Nezu explained. That is true. Izuku swung glumly. He didn't believe his long-held secret was revealed on the first. Nezu was a super genius. Alright, we agreed that your English class is to be changed to an internship with me. Come to my office for the internship. See you tomorrow, Midoriya Izuku. Nezu's name, waving him off. Izuku left our office. His life was somewhere getting a lot more hectic. Foundational Hero Stories were before Nezu's internship, and he was not looking forward to it. He from the other students that All Might was teaching that class. The last time we saw All Might was a slime attack. I'm entering the classroom like a normal person. All Might yelled as he entered Izuku's classroom. All Might! He's wearing his double-A's costume. The room erupted into chatter. Everyone follow me to the training area for the live battle simulation, All Might exclaimed. Izuku stood up with the rest of his class and followed the big hulking figure of All Might. They had to put on their costumes that they'd gotten earlier. Izuku's costume was a black jumpsuit with a dark cape that could be lit. It included high-tech gliders that magnifies his view, a belt with tools in it, and his boots and gloves were flame-resistant. He decided for more to sleeve and not flashiness like his other classmates. Kachan's costume looked like it had a lot of explosions. Urakawa was similar to a pink astronaut. He couldn't even see Hakira's costume. She was completely invisible. Your costume's really cool, Izuku. Uraka cheerfully exclaimed. You too, he responded. In this live battle simulation, we will be teams of heroes and teams of villains. The hero's objective is to either apprehend the fake nuke or capture the villains. The villain's objective is to capture the heroes or keep the fake nuke until the time runs out. You will have 5 minutes. Some crews have been waived, with others will be picked out. First is Midoriya Bako on the hero team, with Uraraka and Ida on the villain group. All Might stepped into the building to start the live battle simulation. The building looked like a block of concrete. Uraraka and Ida were sent to the fake nuke, and Kacha and Izuku planned their attack. I have a plan, and a backup plan, and another, and Izuku started. Just give me the first two and stop the fucking mumbling, Kacha growled. Okay, they probably sent Ida out to capture us since he has the extra quirk. Uraraka will probably be the one to protect the nuke. You can distract and capture Ida while sneaking to grab the nuke, but I can distract Ida by gathering all the attention towards me and focusing on Uraraka. Those are probably my main plans if they're both together. I can use my staff to make a hole while you wait under the nuke and not distract them. When the hole falls, you'll fly up and grab the nuke. Or we could just charge in and... Izuku stopped by Kachan. The first one. What did I tell you about that muttering? Kachan exclaimed, not to do it. Izuku glumly answered. Going into the building, Kachan stormed off and mumbled about fur-eyed bastard. He walked off and looked for the nuke. There wasn't a lot to look for, but he had to be cautious. Ida or Uraraka could capture him. He looked for the rocket. It was on the last floor. He checked as he thought. Uraraka was guarding it. She had her quirk to lift the nuke to the ceiling. Izuku knew he could reach it by charging it and see if he would be able to reach it. So he goes to the floor above. Maybe he could get the rocket from the top. He began to stab before making cracks and dents in the ceiling. His strength might not be enough, but he had to try. All his training couldn't be for nothing. The soldiers kept ringing through the building. He hoped Uraraka thought this one was too. With one last stab on the center of the floor, threw away, he was falling towards the flying nuke. Kachan was also in the room, flying towards it. Uraraka and Ida were also running towards them. They grabbed it at the same time, and the seeker said, Hero Team wins. The hero team jumped off the nuke just as it started to fall. It would be easier if I knew you both could fly. Uraraka pouted. She had a piece of building her costume, but other than that, she was fine. I was falling, Izuku countered. You did a marvelous job. I'm bitter that you won, but you're better than us. Ida said, his hair is a bit blank and his glasses are blackened. Hey, we're going, bastards. Kacho reminded them. The hero and villain teams walked out of the building. They reached All Might and they began to talk. Good job, young Midoriya and young Bakugo. You also did well, young Uraraka and young Ida. Now, who is this MVP? All Might asked all of them. Midoriya, Yadarosu answered. This is correct, young Yadarosu, but why? All Might questioned. Midoriya was the one who came up with the plan. When he saw an obstacle, he nearly passed it. Bakio just bothered Nina and then ran towards the nuke, but that was Midoriya's plan too. Uraraka had a good idea about lifting it to the air in the nuke, but that didn't work. Ida chased Bakio into the nuke room, which increased his chance of recovering the nuke, which is why Midoriya is the MVP in this battle situation. The class was silent. Yes, that's also correct. All my praise. Next group is Todoroki and Hagakure as the hero team, and Ojiro and Jiro as the villain team. The match continued with Todoroki and Hagakure winning. Heroes Shinso and Kaminari win versus Ashiro and Ayama by brainwashing them. Villains Asui and Kaminari went against Koda and Sato. When Asui captured Koda and Sato with Kaminari's help. Tokiyami and Yadaroshu captured Shochi and Zero with a net cannon Yadaroshu created. They were all tired by the time the class ended. Izuku literally forgot Nezu's internship until President Mike reminded him that all his classmates staring at him. Izuku arrived at the principal's office, tired, nervous, worried. He stepped in to see a skeleton-thin man that seemed familiar. All Might? That is the end of chapter 6. What's up? I'm sorry for anything that happened in this video. I just had to re-record this because I didn't notice that I had deleted it by accident, I guess, because I just couldn't find it. And I honestly wasn't expecting to record this, and my voice is sore, and I tried to push through it, which is really my fault. I honestly probably just should have posted a different fanfic, but I decided I only wanted to have 3 up and running at the time right now. I'm not gonna restart Someone Like You, but I'm added to it right now. It's the first episode, not the first episode. The continuation of that series should be coming out soon. Anyways, and obviously, and I did not wear my glasses during some of this, so I ended up. So when I was like reading ahead and like looking to see like which name came up after, so I could see which voice I'm supposed to read it in, it didn't work out correctly because I'm like, is that Izuku? Is that Nezu? I know two very different names for me to mix up. Absolutely awful. And then I also mixed up Present Mike and Izuku early on, and I honestly just don't like re-recording it because I was already pushing through it as it is. Anyways, good evening, good morning, good night, goodbye.